End of August, first part of September, we took the boat north from Tobermory to the North Channel, Killarney area. The North Channel is that area that's north of Manitoulin Island and south of the north shore of Lake Superior or Lake Huron. Great cruising ground. First stop was Club Harbor, which is about halfway up on Club Island. Club's a pretty low, scrubby island. It used to be you could hardly see it till you got right up to it because there were hardly any trees on it. That's Lonely Island in the background. And you can just see what it looks like from here. Most of that bottom is just shale, just rock, hard rock, except for that area where the two boats are anchored. We're the aftmost boat, and you can see the dark mud there. Next day we went further north and ended up in Little Current, where we picked up John, and headed down for Killarney. Killarney to Little Current, that whole area is very, very popular with people. So we had a great sail down there, not so great coming back, it was wet. And we ended up here, which is Snug Harbor, one of our favorite spots. Usually more boats than this in there, but with COVID, it's settled down the boat traffic an awful lot. That's Fraser Bay there. We're obviously looking west. It's fairly late in the day. And that's the start of the Lansdowne Channel. Lansdowne Channel you have to run through to get from Little Current to Killarney. Normally lots of boats going up and down there. We're looking south now. And then in a minute you'll just see the entrance there. Oh, this is what it looks like when you almost crash a drone. That was so close, so close. It was a couple of days later and I've gotten rid of the ambient sound because I tried to narrate it as we were going, and the wind noise is just too strong. But it's beautiful flat. We were about 12 knots apparent, wind 60 degrees. It was just a beautiful, beautiful sail down there. We had the wind with us all the time this trip. It was just perfect. And this is sunset in Blind River, a gorgeous sunset in Blind River, which is as far west as we got. And I got to tell you, having a glass of wine, a sundowner, watching the sun go down from the cockpit of a boat is a pretty good way to spend an evening. This is the next day, sort of a beautiful, calm, quiet day. And I apologize for the audio coming up. Nice quiet downwind sail today from Blind River to a little place called Long Point Cove. It's normally very, very busy, but I'm expecting there's not going to be too many people there today. We'll check it out. And we did check it out. This is the day after that at a place called Beardrop Harbor, which is another place we go whenever we can. There's kayakers from another boat there. Hardly any boats here. North Channel is quite accessible from Michigan, but of course nobody can cross the border this year, which makes it very, very quiet. So it was a lot of fun. There's a big gap that you'll see, and flying out that gap is what this looks like here. This is what's called the Whale's Back Channel. And there's lots of these little rocky islands that look like whales' backs. Here's just a couple more views of the Whale's Back Channel. That's looking northeast, and this next one is southwest. It really is a gorgeous spot, and there we are anchored through the gap. So this is looking out through that gap from where the boat was anchored. We love that view. And this next shot is from the same place about 20 years ago, and those are Jill and John sitting up on the edge of that cliff. I left this in just to show you how much Connie loves having videos taken. Wait for it. There we go. And of course we had some of this. We had one day of really heavy torrential rain. It didn't last all day. Now this is the next day. We had gale force winds heading downwind again. Lots of downwind sailing this trip. Heading for Little Current. And what's happening there is that the waves are picking up the back of the boat so that it almost starts to surf a bit. This boat normally would cruise at about 6.5 knots, and we were hitting 9 and 10, and at one point even got up to 11 knots down here. Our plan had been to stay in Little Current for a couple of nights because there's a few good restaurants there, and it's a great little place to be, and deserted this year again. But we ended up having to speed our plans up and get home a day earlier than planned because on the Monday that we were going to get home, there were gale force winds from the south, which is bad when you're heading south. So we sped things up and just spent one night in Little Current before heading back. Yeah, so this is from that trip. Maximum boat speed of 10.9 knots and maximum true wind speed of 36.2 knots. Which is a lot of wind, but downwind, as we were, it's basically just a lot of fun. And the next day when we left Little Current, it was another, gorgeous, gentle downwind, wing and wing sail. This is like beautiful sailing when it's like this. It's just completely quiet. We went to this place, which is Rattlesnake Harbor. For a reason it's called that. It's open to the west, but it's so shallow out there that you don't really get any waves coming in, and you can hide from the wind in a couple of spots. The only issue with it is, as you can see here, are all these old logs on the bottom, all these deadheads. That yellow thing, by the way, is what I use to haul in the drone, because it's really hard to land a drone on a moving sailboat. Then the next day we headed back to Tobermory. Had a little more than 2 weeks, great holiday, and it was another season done.